The little star who lost her sparkle. Far, far away, in the velvet sky, there lived a little star named Lumi. She was the smallest star in her cluster, but she twinkled the brightest. Or at least she used to. One night, when Lumi tried to shine, her light flickered and dimmed. Oh no, she gasped. Where did my sparkle go? She tried again and again, but all she could manage was a faint glow. The big stars nearby whispered kindly, Don't worry, little one. Sometimes stars just get tired. But Lumi didn't want to stop glowing. She wanted to light up the sky again. So she decided to find her sparkle. She floated past clouds of silver dust, danced through ribbons of colorful auroras, and even asked the moon, Dear moon, have you seen my sparkle? The moon smiled gently. Maybe it's not lost, dear Lumi. Maybe you have just forgotten why you shine. Confused, Lumi drifted toward Earth and looked down. Below, she saw a small child sitting by a window, holding a telescope. The child was looking right at her and whispering, Please, shine again, little star. You are my favorite. Something warm bloomed inside Lumi. She realized her sparkle wasn't gone. It lived in the hearts of those who believed in her light. And so, with a deep breath and a happy heart, Lumi began to glow again, brighter than ever before. The child smiled, the moon winked, and the night sky sparkled once more. From that night on, whenever Lumi started to fade, she would remember the little child's voice and glow with love. Moral: Sometimes when we feel our light dim, it's not gone. It just needs a reason to shine again. The Secret of the Whispering Woods. Once upon a time, in a quiet village by the edge of an endless forest, lived a curious girl named Arya. Arya loved two things, stories and secrets, and the Whispering Woods were full of both. No one dared to go deep inside those woods because people said the trees whispered warnings to anyone who entered. But one morning, Arya woke up to find her pet squirrel, Pip, missing, and a tiny trail of golden nuts leading into the forest. Without a second thought, Arya grabbed her lantern and followed the trail. The deeper she went, the stranger it became. The trees did whisper, but not scary things. Keep going, Arya, they murmured softly. He's waiting for you. She stepped carefully over glowing mushrooms and crossed a stream where fish shimmered like silver ribbons. Suddenly, she reached a great oak with a door carved into its trunk. The door had a golden keyhole, and beside it, a golden nut. She picked it up, and it turned into a key right in her hand. Click. The door opened, revealing a spiral staircase glowing with soft blue light. At the bottom was a hidden world, a secret village of teeny forest folk. They were cheerful little creatures with leaf hats and firefly lanterns, and in the middle sat Pip, munching on nuts happily, surrounded by the forest folk who had rescued him from a hawk. Their leader, an old wise elf, bowed and said, Arya, thank you for following your courage. Few humans listen to the whispers of the woods anymore. He gave her a small charm made of moonstone and wine. Whenever you hear the forest whisper again, you will know it's calling you for something important. Arya thanked them, hugged Pip tight, and found her way home, just as dawn painted the sky pink and gold. From then on, whenever the wind rustled the trees, she would smile because she knew it wasn't just the wind. The whispering woods were saying hello to their brave little friend. Moral: adventure isn't always about danger. Sometimes it's about courage, kindness, and listening to the world around you. The brave ones of Moonlight Meadow. Once, in a wide green meadow under a silver moon, lived a group of unlucky friends. Finn, the clever fox; Mira, the gentle rabbit; Ollie, the sleepy owl; and Tico, the tiny mouse. They were small and ordinary, but the meadow was their world, full of laughter, tall grass, and starlit adventures. One summer night, their peace was broken. A terrible fire had started at the edge of the meadow. Sparks flew, smoke curled, and frightened animals ran in every direction. The friends gathered beneath the old oak tree. What do we do? Squeaked Tico. We can't just run, said Finn firmly. The baby animals in the hollow can't escape alone. Mira's ears drooped. But how can we save them? The fire's too big. Finn's eyes gleamed. Together. So they made a plan. Ollie soared high above the flames, hooting directions. Left. There's a clear path by the stream. Mira darted through the grass, guiding the little ones with her soft voice. Follow me. Stay low. Tico scurried into burrows, waking sleeping moles and hedgehogs, and Finn ran to the far side of the meadow to break open the old fence, creating a safe exit for everyone. When the last spark died, the animals looked around. The meadow was smoky, but safe. The next morning, the sky turned golden. Every creature gathered to thank the four friends. Even the deer bowed their heads in respect. The owl spoke softly. You may be small, but you carry the heart of the meadow. From that day on, they were known as the guardians of Moonlight Meadow, brave, loyal, and forever watching over their home beneath the glowing stars. Moral: no one is too small to make a difference. Courage grows where hearts unite. The Midnight Rescue. Deep in the heart of Pinewood Forest lived Bram, a big brown bear who lived peace and honey more than anything. Every day he wandered through the woods, humming softly and sharing berries with his best friend, Luna the wolf. But one night the forest was restless. The stars hid behind clouds, and an eerie howl echoed through the valley. Not Luna's, but a cry for help. Bram's ear perked up. Did you hear that? He rumbled. Luna nodded. Someone's in trouble near the cliffs. Without wasting a moment, they ran towards the sound. The forest grew darker, the wind sharper, and the ground steeper. At last, they found a small red fox cub, trapped between two rocks, whimpering softly. Hold on, little one, Bram said gently. He pushed with all his strength, while Luna dug around the edges with her paws. After several tries, crack, the rock shifted, and the cub was free. But then came another sound, a rumble, low and dangerous. A landslide began above them. Run! Luna barked. She grabbed the cub by the scarf while Bram shielded them both with his huge body as rocks tumbled around him. When the dust finally settled, Bram's fur was covered in dirt, but he smiled. Everyone okay? The fox nodded, eyes wide. You, you saved me. Luna smiled. That's what friends do, even before they meet. They brought the cub back to his den, where his worried mother cried tears of joy. As dawn painted the sky pink, Bram and Luna sat by the river, watching the sunlight glitter through the mist. That was close, Bram said with a yawn. Luna chuckled. Next time, let's hope our midnight snack isn't rocks. And the forest returned to peace, with the animals whispering stories of the bear and the wolf who chased away the dark. Moral: true strength isn't just in muscles, it's in kindness, courage, and the will to help others. Grandpa's garden. In a quiet village, there was a beautiful garden behind an old brick house. It wasn't fancy, no fountains or gates, but it was full of life. Butterflies danced, bees hummed, and every flower seemed to smile. The garden belonged to Grandpa Ravi, who cared for it every single day, and his little granddaughter Mila loved to help him. Every morning they would water the plants together. Remember, Mila? Grandpa would say, flowers don't just need water, they need love and patience. Mila would nod seriously, pretending to understand, and then sprinkle water on Grandpa's shoes by mistake, which made him laugh every time. But one winter, Grandpa fell ill and couldn't go outside anymore. The garden slowly began to fade. The flowers drooped, the grass turned dry, and the air lost its song. Mila felt her heart ache. One night, she whispered, I will take care of your garden, Grandpa. I promise. The next morning, she woke up early and went outside. She planted new seeds, watered the soil, and even sang to the flowers like Grandpa used to. This turned into weeks, and little green shoots began to peek out from the soil. When Grandpa finally got better, Mila led him outside, covering his eyes. Ready? She said. When he opened them, he gasped. The garden was alive again. The flowers glowed under the sun, and a white dove rested on the fence, as if to bless the moment. Tears filled Grandpa's eyes. You kept promise alive, Mila. She smiled. No, Grandpa. Our garden kept us alive. From that day on, they called it the Forever Garden because it never stopped blooming, just like their love. Moral: family love grows like a garden. When you care for it with kindness and patience, it will bloom forever. The Breeze of Stars. In a small seaside village, two siblings, Asha and Rian, lived in a cozy cottage by the water. They did everything together, collecting seashells, chasing fireflies, and telling each other stories until they fell asleep. Every night, before bed, they would sit by the window and look up at the stars. Do you think the stars are friends too? Asha would ask. Rian would grin. Of course, they shine brighter when they are together, just like us. One stormy evening, the sea roared louder than ever. The waves crashed against the rocks, and Asha's little paper boat, the one she had made that morning, was swept away. She ran outside, tears in her eyes. My boat! It's gone! Rian grabbed his lantern and followed her, even though the wind howled fiercely. Don't worry, he said. We'll find it together. They reached the edge of the cliff, where the storm was wild. Just then, lightning flashed, and in that bright moment, Rian spotted the boat, caught on a branch far below. He took off his jacket and tied it to a tree, creating a little rope. Carefully, he leaned down and grabbed the board. When he handed it back to Asha, she hugged it tightly, then hugged him even tighter. You didn't have to do that, she said, eyes shining. Rian smiled. Of course I did. You'd do the same for me. The next morning, the storm was gone, and the sea sparkled under the sunlight. That night, when they looked up, the stars seemed to shimmer brighter than ever, as if the sky itself was proud of them. From then on, Asha and Rian called the Milky Way the Bridge of Stars, believing it was built by all the brothers and sisters who loved each other, no matter how far apart they were. Moral: siblings are like stars, sometimes apart, but always connected by the light of love. The two trees. Once upon a time, in a quiet valley surrounded by mountains, there lived two siblings, Lena and Erin. Their house stood beside a meadow where two small trees grew side by side. Lena had planted one and Erin had planted the other on the same spring day. Every morning they would water the trees together and talk to them as if they were friends. Grow strong, little one, Lena would say, and reach the clouds. Erin would laugh. Years passed. The trees grew taller, and so did the children. But one winter, a great storm came to the valley. The wind howled fiercely, and when morning came, Aaron's tree had fallen. He looked at the broken trunk and felt his heart sink. That night, Lena found him sitting by the fallen tree. Don't be sad, she said softly. Your tree isn't gone. It's part of the earth now. It will help new things grow. Erin frowned. But your tree still stands. Lena thought for a moment, then dug a small hole near her tree and placed a branch from Erin's broken one into the soil. There, she whispered. Now they will always be together. Spring returned and something magical happened. The branch began to sprout. Tiny green leaves unfurled, and soon two trees stood side by side again, one strong, one new. Their roots intertwined beneath the soil. Years later, when Lena and Erin were grown and lived far away, they would return every spring to see their trees. The trees had become tall and graceful, their branches crossing and touching in the wind, just like the way the siblings once held hands. And every time the breeze passed through, the leaves rustled softly, as if whispering, together, always. Moral: true love between siblings never fades. Like roots beneath the earth, it stays connected, no matter how far apart life takes them.